Fletcher here again with DJ Event Planner, and in this video we're going to cover the different employee levels inside of DJ Event Planner. When you first signed up for a trial, the system made you a Master Administrator account, the company details here, and made you the point of contact for your account. This Master Administrator account has the ability to control everything within your account, and as the named point of contact has access to support options that can be found through the left menu under Support Options. When you go to Main Menu Employees, you can see all of your employees. We can add a new employee here. There are 4 different access levels or types of employees that you can add into your system: a new administrator, a new salesperson, a new employee, or inactive employees. If you're a single op, you're best served by logging in as a Master Administrator. However, if you're a multi-op, you can add additional employees as a new administrator if they're a partner or an owner of the company. Administrators have full access and they can configure all settings and see all information in the account. And again, it's designed for company owners or managers. To add a new administrator, click on Add New Administrator and enter their information here. When you add a new salesperson, salespeople can add, edit, delete events if they have the proper settings. They can also send email, access employee venue contact information, and they can see detailed information about events. Salespeople can access both the company-wide calendar and their own employee calendar. However, they cannot see reports, access configuration settings, or access software support tools. That is important to keep in mind. I want to reiterate that the only person that can access support is the point of contact listed in your account that can be found underneath Account and then Company Details, this contact name right here. And the reason we do that is for security purposes to keep your account secure. Now, salespeople do have different level of permissions that you can set. You can choose if they can add or edit employees, view employee details, what event settings they can edit, when they can access events, view inbox or delete inbox messages. You can also dictate what they can see if they are not the assigned salesperson on a specific event and what they can or cannot do with those events they're not assigned to, as well as decide if they can view all clients' packages, etc., and if there's specific reports that you'd like them to be able to view. The third type of employee level that you can add is a basic level employee. These employees can only see the events that they're assigned to. When you add a basic level employee and click on the Permissions tab, you can see what different level permissions you can assign them. By default, they have no additional permissions. You can choose what event details they can see, what client details, client contacts and appointments, if they can see vendors assigned to events, if they're able to see client email messages or even send email messages to them. You can also limit how far in advance they can see events that they're assigned to, and then also allow them to override and edit planning forms. 2 additional tools that you can do: if you have a warehouse operations manager, you can assign them here and allow them to view all of the events as well as additional details, whether they can edit internal booking comments, edit the equipment list, or even configure equipment. If you have somebody that just manages your website and you want them to be able to access the website tools to update the information embedded on your website, you can mark them as a webmaster and give them that access. This will allow them to see and configure the website tools in your account. For basic level employees, there are additional settings that can be found here by clicking the button here or underneath Setup, Application, Employee Settings. We'll briefly run through a couple of these settings that can be found here for basic level employees. Under the features is where you can enable or disable certain features in the software. It includes a time off system, a confirm and declination system for events, whether they submit hourly timesheets, if you have the available event system, if they can see their wage report, if they can check in and out from an event. This will allow them to log into their account when they arrive at an event and check in, and the system will capture the time and geolocation. And at the end of the night, they can also check out. You can also enable them to edit their outgoing mail server settings on their own if you allow them to send email through the system. And then additional features are available based upon the items that you select. Underneath Access to Events, this will dictate what events those basic level employees can see. You can dictate what events they can see based upon the status of that event, as well as how far forward they can see events, as well as how far back. Last but not least, in permissions, these are the default permissions for all basic level access employees. These are not applicable to administrators or salespeople. You could choose what information they can see under the event. These would be the tabs that you see when you view or edit an event. Whether they could see the client notes underneath the client information, what booking information they can see, and whether they can see other employees assigned to events, as well as additional information, whether they can see packages, their wage, add-ons, related files, post-event notes, and contract notes, and if they can also see post-event notes up here. Underneath the Event Planning tab, you could choose what information they can see underneath the Planning tab when viewing an event. What forms by default can they see? And as well, can they edit those planning details? And then last but not least, in their employee portal when they log in, what information can they see of theirs and can they edit it? I do encourage you allowing them to edit certain information on their own. So if they get a new phone number and they need to update it, they can do so. Now, the fourth type of employee that you can add is an inactive employee. Inactive employees do not count towards your active employee limit based upon your subscription level. Inactive employees cannot access their account. They cannot log in. You will not see them in drop-downs to be assigned to events. However, if they were previously assigned to an event, they will still be visible as assigned to that event. We encourage users to mark employees inactive if they leave the company. That way, any information that they are tied to is still in the system. However, they can no longer log in, and you cannot add them to any future events. Now that we have a basic understanding of the different employee levels inside of DJ Event Planner, how do we send that employee their login information? If we go to Main Menu, Employees, and navigate to an employee, and then click on Full View, underneath their employee login details, you'll find the username and password that was generated by the system, and you can click the Send Logon Details button. That will autofill their email address and their information, and just simply click Send. Hopefully you found something useful in this video. If you ever have any questions or are having troubles, of course, you can find support through support options in the left menu of our account. And as always, feel free to like and share this video, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to receive updates about future videos. Happy planning!